One little workaround saved my family hundreds of dollars on our Norwegian Encore Alaska cruise. We're going to be saving about $400 per person for 2 people. Another one left me bleeding on a Glacier. So if you're booked on the Norwegian Encore for Alaska because it was the cheapest option to visit Glacier Bay, watch this before you sell. Because the ship itself is great for Alaska, but Norwegian has 3 serious problems waiting for you in Ketchikan.
People are getting grumpy and they're just walking.
Victoria.
Told your mother was $5.
So we just got scammed. In Juneau. The lines to take the shuttle down to downtown are brutal. And I'm gonna show you all 3 and exactly how we beat every one of them. Stay tuned.
If you put that in YouTube, don't show my face.
Why?
Because I am too pretty.
We just got back from Alaska on the Norwegian Encore and absolutely fell in love with cruising in this region. And while this ship itself is great for Alaska, we did face some challenges that are magnified by sailing in one of the largest ships in this region. After 37 cruises, this was my first time in Alaska. I plan cruises for a living, and when I go into any destination like this, I like to go a little bit blind about what to expect so I get a good idea of some of the challenges that my clients will face so I can better serve them. And quite honestly, some of the solutions in this video we discovered by accident. If you're interested in the onboard experience on the Norwegian Encore in Alaska, I already have a video on my channel about it. If you're like me and have cruised often, but this is your first time in this region, the onboard experience is completely different, so check out that video, which I put in the description below. But for this video, I'm going to go in depth into the challenges we face at the port, so you're best prepared to get the best of this vacation, because quite frankly, cruising to Alaska is not cheap. And let's start with our first port stop we'll cover, Ketchikan. Actually, let's do that again. Let's start with the first port stop we'll cover, Wards Cove. The Norwegian Encore does not actually dock in downtown Ketchikan. Because of her massive size, Norwegian docks 7 miles north at a private facility called Wards Cove. And if you look at your itinerary, it says it next to it. At the dock is an old repurposed pulp mill. There's a huge makeshift shopping area inside with some great prices. It's gonna feel a lot like walking into a Costco, but here's the challenge. The ship is docked here from 7 a.m. to 1:15 p.m. And by the time the ship is cleared, and you get through about 4,000 passengers trying to get off the ship at once, you will most likely get off the ship by 8 a.m. It's 8 a.m. and there's 2 ships docked here. There's a 7 Seas Explorer as well as our ship. And so just gonna see how long the shuttle lines are and if we made the right decision to pay for this taxi boat into town. If you want to go to the historic Creek Street or downtown Ketchikan,
each place has its own unique.
You're at the mercy of a 20 to 30 minute shuttle bus ride each way. The lines to get on these complimentary buses when the ship clears can take over an hour. Would you want to spend an hour in line? So the day before we looked at other options.
You can book a one-way water transfer from Ward Cove, where the boat docks,
There's the water taxi right here as soon as you get off the ship.
to downtown. Actually, it says Countdown, Ketchikan, not downtown. Alternative means of reaching downtown offers express boarding, allowing you to bypass long lines, often associated with other modes of transportation. Cruise to Ketchikan instead of driving and enjoys the spectacular views. It's 1 hour in duration. It does say it includes a light snack or refreshment is served on this tour. That's nice.
That means that the bus lines are that long.
If you're on the Norwegian Encore, the line starts over here!
So you can purchase a one-way for $129 to get into Ketchikan. But because you are watching this video and subscribe to this channel, then you will know that you can book this same exact transfer directly with the tour operator at half the cost. So the water taxi was $65 for one person, and there was a discount if you purchased 2 or more.
Good morning, everybody. You guys basically have your own private charter, hey?
Yeah.
My name is Abigail. I'm going to be your naturalist today. Before we get started, I'm just going to do a really quick safety speech.
We had good weather. I don't know what it was like last night where you were, but it was pretty stormy here last night, so it's calmed down.
Oh, wow. Wow! This is awesome. Wow. We actually weren't planning on spending a single dime on excursions in Ketchikan. Paying $260 for a family just to get into town felt like a painful, extreme purchase to make at the last second, but it turned out to be the ultimate blessing in disguise, and it completely saved our day. Are you warm in here?
Very good. It's very good.
The boat ride takes about an hour, which is roughly the same amount of time it would have taken us by bus. But instead of just riding to town and looking out of a window, we got to experience this instead. It was really cool watching the seaplane fly right past us. You can actually book those as a shore excursion directly with the cruise line. My friends Michelle and April did the tour, and they absolutely loved it. And that wasn't the only plane we saw. The boat takes you right past Ketchikan Airport. Fun fact about this airport, it's on its own isolated island, and because there's no road or bridge connecting it to the city, every single traveler has to take this little 7-minute ferry ride back and forth. Passengers waiting on today's ferry actually got some free live entertainment courtesy of my
We're
dad.
getting older as we walk. They said we are getting older as we walk.
Yeah. But as we finally started approaching the actual city center, reality hit. And you might have heard of a little phenomenon called ship envy. Well, it's a very real thing, and it's exactly what I experienced the second we got close to the downtown docks. This right here is the reason that most people think that Princess and Holland America are your best options when coming to Alaska. They just have prime locations for docking. We just got into town at 9:30, and the last shuttle back to the cruise ship leaves at 11. So that means we have an hour and a half at the most to explore towns. Did you like the taxi?
Yep. Everybody else was on Region 7 Seas. We were not on Region 7 Seas.
With just over an hour in Ketchikan, we're gonna have to be strategic and move fast. You're cold?
Sí, sí.
I love it.
Yep. We've had time for one gift shop so far. We have right about an hour left, at most. You know where we're going?
We get to go back, I guess?
Maybe we'll have to go back to
The port.
the boat.
That's going to conclude our time in Ketchikan. We had time to do two things. Now we've got a 15-minute walk to berth 4, which is where the shuttle takes us back to Cove's Ward to catch our ship. On the way, we walked right past one of the Prince's ships. Watching their passengers casually strolling off the ship right into the heart of downtown was a massive wake-up call. Honestly, right then and there, we started talking about how much easier it would be to book a completely different cruise line for our return trip to Alaska this year. Wow, it's over there, berth 4. Especially after the heartbreak it cost me, there was literally one specific thing I genuinely wanted to do in Ketchikan, and that was visit Jellyfish Donuts. We have time to go in there? Oh, no. They are legendary for making a salmon donut, which just sounds wild, but it's a total local staple. So we weren't able to do the jellyfish donut, unfortunately, because we wanted to be back on the ship. Oh my gosh, the line to get back to the ship is insane.
Film crew, yay! That's what I'm talking about.
And here is why the timeline is so brutal. Even though the Encore's itinerary says it leaves Ketchikan at 1:15 p.m., you cannot actually stay in town until 1. You have to be physically standing in line by 11 a.m. just to guarantee you get a spot on the free shuttle back to Ward Cove.
There's a reason y'all's last shuttle was at 11 and you leave at 12:45. You sure this was going to happen?
If you love standing in massive long lines, often in the freezing cold rain, while watching dozens of people cut in line in front of you, then you are absolutely going to love the Ward Cove Shuttle experience.
People are just walking.
Everyone is walking in.
Those people just got really upset and just walked over. She goes, I'm just walking. Wait. If you're on the Norwegian Encore! Norwegian Encore! The line is gonna start back there!
Okay, thank you.
All these people just cutting right into line. Oh, this guy, oh, he made it. He snuck it in. They got it. They got in. Oh, they got in. They got in. Oh well. How many people you think were able to successfully make it into the line?
At least 50.
Standing in line sucks, but standing in line watching other people cut in line really sucks. But we weren't out of the woods yet.
Look at these people.
Oh, more people cutting. Look at these people cutting. You can do it. You can do it. They're all busted. Oh no.
The blue bus right over there.
Joel, you want a blue bus or a school bus?
You guys are getting on that yellow bus.
Oh, we got the yellow bus. We were lucky with great weather while standing in line today, but on this trip we faced all types of weather, which brings me to today's sponsor, TomTok. Packing for Alaska is completely different than packing for a Caribbean cruise. It is all about layers. And to carry around all this clothing, I used the TomTok travel backpack. This thing is a beast, and because it opens up completely flat like a suitcase, it's really easy to pack all my bulky jackets and rain tech, even my camera gear that I would need on this cruise. The water-resistant fabric and premium YKK zippers are an absolute must for that unpredictable Alaskan rain. But when you're actually off the ship and you don't want a backpack, this is where the Aviator-T37 chest bag really comes in. It sits comfortably right across my chest, and I'm able to access my phone, my cruise card, my passport, and even my camera really quickly. It features a tri-compartment design and it keeps everything organized, and it even has a built-in RFID blocking protection, so I don't have to worry about my data while I'm traveling. TomTok has provided all my viewers with a special discount. I put the link and the discount code in the description below. A huge thanks to TomTok for sponsoring today's video. A quick note on taxis and ride shares. They are available, but getting one at Ward Cove is a challenge, and often the Uber drivers will cancel last minute. I would consider one going back to the ship though, as it will buy you more time in Ketchikan to explore town. On to Juneau, the challenges here are actually pretty similar to Ketchikan. Once again, you can see a Holland America ship docked right in town with a prime location. The Encore docks right next to them, but navigating around this massive port area just to get into the actual city takes a little bit of work. If you choose to walk, it's going to take you a solid 45 minutes. And because of that distance, you have to be incredibly careful if you book a third-party excursion. You absolutely must give yourself plenty of buffer time to reach your meeting points downtown. And here's why. The Encore has a late afternoon arrival of 2:30 p.m. Because it's in the middle of the day, you have over 4,000 passengers who are wide awake, high energy, and ready to sprint off the ship, all at the exact same second. This creates a massive bottleneck for the free shuttle buses heading into town. Our excursion wasn't until later in the evening, but we actually got off the ship briefly right when we docked just to see how bad the lines would get. And trust me, it was a mess.
A lot of people ready to get off the ship.
This right here behind me is the line to get the free shuttle that takes you to downtown. There was almost no line when we got off, and now there's a huge line that wraps all the way around. So we turned right around, got back on board, and hung out at the observation deck to grab a quick bite to eat. What is that? Frankly, it was the only place open at that hour where we could get food quickly. Now, seeing Mendenhall Glacier is easily the #1 bucket list thing to do in Juneau, and taking a helicopter ride to walk on the ice is the ultimate way to do it. But being a travel agent, I always check the pricing math, and Norwegian's price for this excursion is $639 per person. If you book direct with the company that runs those excursions, Temsco Helicopters, it's going to cost you $409 per person. That's a savings of $200 per person. That means for a family of 4, booking directly saves you $920. Unfortunately for us, Temsco was completely sold out for our date, so we went with another local company and secured a 5:45 meeting time in downtown Juneau. Wow. Wow. Wow.
Don't walk backwards. Take a photo.
Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness.
Yep. You will fall in.
When our helicopter first touched down on the ice, the visibility was actually decent, but Alaska weather changes in an instant, and within minutes, heavy low-hanging clouds started aggressively rolling into the valley, completely trapping us. That's when our pilot casually, and I mean incredibly nonchalantly, turned to us and said,
I don't think you can get out now.
"The weather has turned really nasty. We literally cannot leave. It's unsafe to fly." Not knowing whether we'd be stuck on the ice for 1 hour or the next 24, we tried to stay busy and keep our minds off the freezing temperature. You did not put that camera right there. It is. You can drink that water. Joel, come drink some water. Joel, you want to record a goodbye video? Drink some water. Oh, yeah, drinking water. Oh, how was that? Slushy? That's how you're going to get sick. Bye-bye, Joel. Okay, where can I drink water at? All right. Oh, that is really good water. Joel, my nose is bleeding. I don't know. I guess I cut. Does the snow cut? I drink water and I cut my nose in the snow. Glacier ice isn't like snow. It behaves like broken glass. So now I'm freezing, stranded, and literally bleeding on the glacier.
Oh.
Wow, look at this. There's my blood. Well. And to make things more intense, the pilot informed us that if the weather didn't clear and we actually had to spend the night out there, the helicopter was fully packed with emergency Arctic survival gear and rations for us to sleep on the ice. I plan cruises for a living, but glacier camping would be a first for me. Thankfully, after a short wait, a tiny break in the clouds opened up and the pilot fired up the rotors and we were able to make a swift retreat back to land. Next up is Victoria. Our final stop of the cruise brings us to Victoria, British Columbia. Now, Victoria is absolutely stunning. It's the capital of British Columbia, and it's known as the City of Gardens. And it generally feels like walking through a historic British town, complete with double-decker buses and high tea at the famous Fairmont and Press Hotel. But here's the major problem you face on Norwegian Encore and pretty much most cruises. Our itinerary had us docking at 8 p.m. and leaving at midnight. A 4-hour stop at night when most of the historic shops and museums in downtown Victoria are already closed. So why do cruise lines do this? I get asked this constantly as a travel agent. It all comes down to a law from 1886 called the Passengers Vessels Service Act. And because the Encore is a foreign flagged ship doing a round trip out of Seattle, it is legally required to touch a foreign port before returning to America. And Victoria is essentially a mandatory legal pit stop. So Norwegian isn't stopping here so you can sightsee. They are stopping so they don't get hit with millions of dollars in maritime fines. If you actually want to experience Victoria, you shouldn't book a standard round-trip Seattle itinerary. You need to look at a Pacific Coastal Repositioning cruise or some specific midweek itineraries on lines like Royal Caribbean, which frequently stop here for 8 to 12 hours during the day. But since we're here at night, with a 4-hour window, we had to get creative, and here's exactly how we tackled a midnight port stop. Wow. For all the people. There's tons of people waiting to get off. So by now, you should know that big crowds and lines is part of sailing with a large mega ship. And with a very short stop in Victoria, the rush off the ship is intensified.
We are in Canada.
The getting off wasn't bad at all. They had 4 people set up on this side, scanning cards. Our decision to get off the ship was very last minute, so we went in not exactly knowing what to expect or even where we wanted to go. I think there's a shuttle you can take for $15. I also see cabs somewhere, which we might consider taking a taxi. Not being able to get a cell phone signal for Uber.
I'm a call work.
Not wanting to pay $15 per person for a bus shuttle.
The taxis are way over there.
We defaulted to the taxis at the very end.
We're going to go with that option. We don't know how much it costs, but we figured that this line for the shuttle that we're walking right by might take a little bit of time. Heck, you can even use a horse. That's pretty cool. There's no flat rate. All forms of payments accepted. Look at all the taxis. There's tons of taxis.
You guys can hop in this one.
Okay, thank you. According to the taxi sign we just saw, our driver was supposed to have the meter running. Instead, ours spent the whole ride pushing us to hire him for the whole night, which would not work out in our favor when we told him no.
You told your mother it was $5.
Really?
Yeah, so we just got scammed by the taxi driver. Told my mom $5, charged us $28. Look how pretty this is.
This is the provincial capital of British Columbia. Victoria is.
What does that mean?
It's like the state capital.
Oh, okay. This right here? This building?
Yes.
That building all the way on the right is where our taxi was supposed to have dropped us off, so we made our way over there. It's the iconic Fairmont Empress Hotel, and it's home to the famous high tea. It's also home to the infamous sausage incident where a guest named Nick Burchill left sausage out by the window and a flock of seagulls came in and destroyed the room. The guest was slapped with a lifetime ban at the hotel. But if you're a fan of comeback stories, the hotel did lift the ban 17 years later, and Nick even posted a picture when he returned to the scene of the crime.
So this is where the bus gets off, and so our family would have cost us $60, and we paid $28 for a cab. 28 Canadian dollars.
If you end up taking the shuttle, then you can get off right in the heart of Government Street. This iconic street is lined up with souvenir shops, classic pubs, street performers. We also ran into a favorite of ours from our last trip to Canada.
Oh my gosh, they got a beaver tails. We ate here when we were in Montreal. If you want something really sweet and delicious, this place is amazing. Look at the line of people. It's like a bread with sugar and chocolate.
Tiene carne de beaver.
No, it doesn't have beaver meat. It's sweet. My mom has to use the restroom and everything is closed, and we found what looks like to be a public restroom. Oh, there's somebody in there.
You want me to do?
Oh my God.
But I'm not going to do anything there.
Oh my God. Holla. If you're looking for a sign, this is it. Joel, you want to take money out of this ATM? This is like the sketchiest looking ATM. Well, we weren't going to be getting off at this port, and I'm glad we decided to get off.
It was time for us to head back to the ship.
It's 9 p.m. and it's still light out here.
We had spent just over an hour, and it seemed like we were able to see a lot in a short time.
You take it back to the cruise port?
It's 15 Canadian dollars? It's 15 Canadian dollars. If we would have taken the shuttle, it would have been $15 each. With an early disembarkation and long day of travel ahead of us for the next day, we wanted to be back in bed early on our final night on the Alaska cruise. My next video is going to be my final one on this Norwegian Alaska cruise, and it will be focused on Skagway. We rented a car instead of doing the train, and not only did we save tons of money, but we traveled along the same path as the White Pass Railway. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you can catch that video when it's ready. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, especially if you're going on an Alaska cruise. And as always, thanks for watching.